Paige.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
No.
Really?
I don't know.
Like that one?
Gosh, you'd think that's
Young
something
Rebecca's seen a ghost.
I mean, I'm as pale as one.
Oh, maybe that's it.
90% of the day.
When she came in.
363 days a year. The other two, I'm red.
We used to have a ghost in our old house on Jesse.
Ooh. And did you ever get a name, age?
It was a tall man.
How?
And I would see him like passing doorways.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. And our basement was one of those half crawl space basements.
Oh, yeah.
Guess how many times I went down there?
And then
Thrice.
None times. Oh, thrice. How long did you live there?
In that house, a couple of years.
3 times in the basement in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. I think there might have been laundry downstairs, but
you didn't use it?
No, I went to the laundromat where Bar Italia is. The Bar Italia laundromat.
Okay, so on Jesse. Okay, so you have tall, you have man. No name, though.
No.
You never had a chat?
No.
Yo, sup?
No. He would just kind of like in my peripheral, just like, whoop.
He was a man on a mission.
It's like checking in on me, heading to the bathroom. Cue the music. Hello, I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Paige.
And this is
Made from What's Left.
Oh, we're going to talk about spooky things today.
And why are we talking about spooky things today?
Because it's spooky season. Because this is our 13th episode.
Yes.
Yay.
It's spooky season.
You don't think that the time between Christmas and taxes is not spooky season?
Depends if you're an accountant. Maybe a forensic accountant.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yep.
I always thought that was like someone that like went through like dead people's pockets and added up their receipts.
I'm not sure those educated in that discipline would agree. So what is the number 13?
I was hoping you would have a little bit of information on the significance of the number 13.
I sure do.
I knew she would.
It's shocking you would ask. So the number 13 is pretty pervasive in our culture in Canada, India, Australia, US. Pervasive in our culture in so much as a lot of buildings are built without a 13th floor.
Okay, but like technically they do have the 13th floor.
Technically they do.
They're numbered. Have you ever had a project where they've asked you to?
I have not, but one project that we spoke about already in this podcast does.
Which one's that?
The Radisson Hotel. The only building over probably 3 stories that we've ever talked about.
I was like, how many high-rises have you done?
So yeah, the Rad.
Well, that's exciting.
So then we have like Friday the 13th. We have... and then like I was looking at just like where does 13 appear in like conventional or like in mathematics or in...
It's between 12 and 14.
Oh, you nailed it. So of course it is in the Fibonacci sequence,
right?
Which is which is something very near and dear to my heart as an architect,
right?
For those who aren't familiar with the Fibonacci sequence, would you like to tell them what it is?
No, please.
Closely associated with the golden section.
Yeah,
it's widely considered to be the ideal proportions for architecture. I'm not going to go into more detail than that because it's quite complex. 13, or XIII,
yes,
is the card in the tarot deck that represents death.
See, that's why we're doing a spooky show today.
Right?
Right?
Right. Whereas, in some cultures, 13 is lucky.
Is it?
Yeah. For example, France, Italy, China. In China, the meaning behind 13 is assured growth.
Huh. Well, today, it's not so lucky for some people.
It's not so lucky.
So you want to talk about some spooky places around Winnipeg?
I want to... Okay, so...
Oh, boy.
Heritage Winnipeg published an article.
Yes.
That has 9 criteria for a place to become haunted, which I thought we should learn.
Yeah, no, that's good because I have a list of haunted places in Winnipeg.
Brilliant.
Well, they may or may not be haunted, but I have a rating system.
Nice. I like it.
Like definitely haunted, probably haunted, and should be haunted.
Oh, see, okay, that's excellent because I have published as haunted. And I have probably cursed.
Anecdotally haunted.
Anecdotal Paige decided these were cursed. I have a spooky story that is Winnipeg related.
Do you like to be scared? Do you like horror movies?
I love being scared. I love horror movies.
Really? Me not so much.
No?
No. One time Saw was on in my living room.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go into the living room until it was over.
Come on.
Like I couldn't even run in to get the remote to turn it off. I don't like any kind of horror movie where there's like a demonic element or someone being pulled from their bed or like, you know, houses bursting into flames, whatever. But I do like The Menu. It was a comedy horror. Do you want to play a game with me?
I do. Let's do it.
I thought we would play a game called Scary or Not Very.
I like it.
And we can take turns. So we have a, what would you call this? A hard hat?
This is a hard hat.
So we have some scary things or not scary.
Okay.
And I thought you could draw it.
Is
draw a scary thing.
Is this like the
Read
game?
it aloud and I'll tell you if it's scary or not very.
Abandoned houses or buildings?
Yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah, very scary. Like especially rural.
It's a trope.
Swimming in a lake or ocean?
Not scary.
No.
Well, okay. For one, I have never swam in an ocean.
Okay.
There are much scarier things in there, like people eating things. I've swam in plenty of lakes, spent my entire
Like if you're swimming in a lake and your
lake.
feet like brush against some seaweed or just like a little bit of mud at the bottom.
Well,
or...
it elicits a shriek.
Right.
But it's very short-lived. The word is bats.
Bats not scary, but...
Bats are cute.
Bats are cute. Bats are cool, except when you have one in your bedroom.
Did you?
Yes.
When?
In Ontario.
Oh.
It flew through our open bedroom window.
Was it a vampire bat?
Well, I don't know. It got very upset to be in the house. And so I was just like, bat, bat, bat. That was the only thing I could say. Just bat.
I think that's apropos. It's your turn. You have two.
Oh.
Ooh, that was close.
Spiders.
Ew. I don't like them.
I'm not a fan. Have you heard the statistic that like in your lifetime you'll swallow like X number of spiders in your sleep?
I also heard that was BS.
I don't like that.
I don't like them. I don't want one on me.
Have you ever seen like a close-up of a jumping spider?
No.
Oh, they're so cute. They're
Oh, really?
so cute. But yeah, I wouldn't
They're
want
cute?
one to jump at me.
I don't
Yeah,
think
they're just little.
Oh.
They're just sweet.
Taxes.
Yeah. You know what? They're not
Spooky.
scary. They're just a pain in the butt. And also, they know how much you owe or how much they owe you. Why don't they just tell us?
Yeah. They know what you owe, but yet you have to pay somebody to find out what you owe.
And then
third party.
even when you submit that, they're either like, no. Or, yeah, you're probably right. They never say, oh, no, in fact, here's a bag of money
You forgot
that you
about.
didn't notice.
Oh, taxes.
Oh, that's coming up.
Okay.
Weird house sounds.
Oh, yeah. Ookie.
Yeah.
Definitely.
The last couple of nights, because it's gotten so much colder, my house will just suddenly make a banging sound. Like just one sharp bang.
Okay, that just happened in my home.
Right?
The two of us spent the following 5 minutes
Looking for the bang.
standing pensively in various rooms trying to figure out what did it.
I wish you had cameras on the inside of your house.
The 13th floor.
Spooky or not spooky?
It's absolutely spooky.
You think?
Well,
If
I
it
mean,
exists.
yeah. So the Radisson, for example, made the 13th floor a mechanical floor. So
Okay.
there's no 13. It's just called M.
Oh. So it goes from 12M 14.
14. Yeah.
And anyone that goes onto the mechanical floor is never seen again.
Probably. They're still there today.
All right. Republicans.
Are you serious? Show me. She literally wrote Republicans.
They're terrifying.
Oh, all right. Give me your background.
Well, no, I'm just thinking. Just like off the top of my head, reproductive rights. But, you know, whatever.
Did you-
Wherever you want to go with that.
Did you spell it wrong first?
Well, no, you know what the problem is? My L's always run into the letter beside. And so I tried to make it easier for you to read.
Thank you.
Because there's another one in there that I know you're not going to be able to read.
I didn't mean to call you out on your whiteout usage.
And it was pink Sharpie too. You can also.
I'm pretty impressed with that, actually.
Terrified of Republicans.
Terrified.
And like adjacent, like the Tucker Carlsons of the world, and like the Canadian people that have the same ideologies.
Wow, this got political.
It did.
Didn't see that coming. Walking alone at night.
Don't like it. It's a little bit ooky.
It could be nice,
but like I wouldn't go for like a stroll around the neighborhood at midnight by myself. But put a chihuahua at the end of a string and I'm fine.
One named Carl, perhaps. Walking alone at night. Yeah, I think that I waffle on this one. I think that like there are times when it's like quiet. There's a bit of peace. Mm-hmm. You can hear the city. I love when it's like quiet enough that you can hear the city. And I like that.
But then when you hear footsteps behind you,
then
in the snow,
I'm like swinging the pendulum to the get me out of here.
I think that's like if you talk to women versus men, like every woman has that sense of
being followed.
Where are my keys? Where's my stuff? Like, looking around, sounding on. Guys are just oblivious to that in general, I think. Like they don't have that like overwhelming sense of everywhere you go. Like a freaky parking garage.
Yeah. Okay, so walking alone at night, I will take before walking through a parking garage at night.
See?
Yeah.
Ooky.
There's too many like things you can't see behind.
Is that your turn or my turn?
Your turn.
I can never remember which one I wrote all these. So. Oompa Loompas. Terrifying.
I have absolutely no issue with the Oompa Loompas.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not scary to you?
No.
Ugh. Nightmare fuel. Do not like.
I like the Oompa Loompas. I like their songs. I like their jawed purse.
Like the original Oompa Loompas?
Yeah.
Scary because there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
The new Oompa Loompa, wasn't there like one that they CGI'd into an army? Scary.
Oh, was it really?
Scary. Don't like.
Wow, I didn't even... The next one is weird food.
Yeah.
How do we categorize weird?
Like if someone gave you like a taco full of eyeballs to eat. Like I'm thinking like real like Fear Factor or like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Here's a handful of mealworms.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to go buy the salt and vinegar crickets. I'm not going to go buy the chocolate dipped mealworms. I'm not
Or like an old egg. Haunted houses, but like at a carnival. Like a man-made haunted house.
So I find those scary, but I love them.
Yeah.
I love the
like you like a jump scare.
Yeah.
Or like someone like ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like the random weird things dragging across your face that you weren't expecting. And hopefully somebody doesn't have one of those infrared cameras so that they can see you. Heights.
Are you afraid of heights?
No, not even remotely. I love your stomach drops feeling when you're overlooking some enormous drop. I love it. You hate it?
No, I don't mind it. I don't mind heights.
Do you?
I'm okay with no. You know what? I'm okay with heights, like in a building or on a thing. Like I don't think I'd have a problem with zip lining or anything like that.
Right.
When we did that mud run that time,
yeah,
and we had to climb that like giant slippery
tower
thing, I didn't enjoy that.
Like you felt vertigo?
I felt like I could plunge to my death.
Oh, you probably could have.
Whereas, like if I was like in the,
you probably could have. You could plunge into a muddy puddle of water, which is what you did do.
Yeah, I did not enjoy those kind of heights. I don't like.
That's not very. That's not terribly high, though.
No, it was just that there was no like building underneath me.
Right, just a rickety wood platform.
Didn't like. Ooh, we're getting to the bottom.
We like heights.
Too. Caves.
Oh, okay. So, like, I can appreciate a beautiful cave.
Sure.
When I see photos of people squeezing their body
don't like that
through tunnels and caves.
No, in like a tight crevasse.
Yeah.
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Never in a million years. Yeah. No. Thank you.
No.
Don't like it. What do we have? Making a phone call. Terrifying.
Right?
Never. If I can avoid it. No, it's not true. I mean, I don't actually mind it, but young Rebecca's like, yeah, no.
No, that generation. Answering a phone call.
Oh,
Jesus. And I always phone you when I'm in my car.
And you. And usually if my phone rings, I'm like, who has the nerve to call me?
What is this?
Don't you have things to do?
Black cats.
I love them.
Yeah, they're good.
I love
No,
them.
no beef. No beef.
They can cross my path anytime they want. This is a good one. Basements.
Basements, yeah. Even like my current situation, not a fan. Get in, get out.
Well, and it was funny because you said creaky house sounds, right?
Basements have like their own set of sounds.
They do. And I do recall one house ago, I was home alone with my cat. Mm-hmm. This is why I'm like thinking of this. Not Black, but had my cat.
Frank.
And I heard a sound. And I was like super sketched out. And I like slowly proceeded down the stairs so as not to make a sound for the whatever axe murder or whatever was.
Well, yeah,
in the
you
basement.
wouldn't want to.
I didn't want to alert them to my presence. So I slowly skulked down the basement stairs and I was looking around and my cat followed me down. And he was as freaked out as I was. You know how they feed off your energy. Yeah. I'm assuming that's all it was. Like, but in my mind, he was freaked out because there was an axe murderer down there. And he had like his hair was standing up and his tail was doing the thing. And I was like, oh.
Everybody out.
So then I just said to Frank, we're fine. Just give him some scritches. And we went back upstairs.
Everything's fine.
I was not murdered that day.
Have a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
This one is especially for you.
Okay.
Holes. Holes?
Are we triggering my tryptophobia? Is that what it's called? Tryptophobia?
I think so. Is it? Where you're afraid of holes?
No, I don't actually. I'm not afraid of holes.
Oh. It's like a pattern of holes though, right?
It's a pattern of holes.
Yeah.
Like the lotus flower, that thing?
Yeah. Like the lotus root?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird. I can definitely identify. I don't think I have the full phobia. Do you?
No. Okay, so haunted places in Winnipeg.
We have some.
Did you want to tell us what constitutes a haunted place in Winnipeg?
Sure. It's a long article. It's from Heritage Winnipeg.
Can you sum this up in 9 points or less?
Yeah, I did. Okay. So, and some of these seem really patently obvious.
Okay.
Has the building at any time in its history been abandoned?
Okay.
That's a good one. Is the building tied with a historic event that maybe didn't go as planned?
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Cha-cha. Is there a tie with Dr. Thomas Glendenning Hamilton?
Is this someone who like went around haunting places?
He did psychic research.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. Does it have a darker twisted history?
Okay.
As I said, it's a little obvious.
Yeah.
Was it home to a famous deceased Manitoban?
Okay. Not to say that every deceased Manitoban is going to come back and give you the ookies.
I guess it's like if they're like long since deceased and there was something like, I don't know, like
dramatic
troublesome.
Or tragic or
yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Riel.
And we will.
And we will. Has it been featured in a film that falls into the realm of horror?
Okay.
Shout out to the Public Safety Building.
Sure.
In a minute. Did it appear in Haunted Winnipeg, Ghost Stories from the Heart of the Continent, or any other publication focusing on ghost stories?
That's an excellent criteria.
This list is a little on the nose.
Yeah.
Has it been featured on TV in shows such as Creepy Canada?
Is that a show?
I didn't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming so.
That's our version of The Bachelor.
Yes. Also any election. Do people come to the building to experience the supernatural?
Okay.
So that's the criteria.
Okay.
I think 3 or 4 of those could be summed up in one, but
okay.
Yeah.
I've made a list of some notable haunted places. Have you?
I have.
Okay. Do you want me just to start reading some out and you can weigh in?
Do it.
Well, I think the most famously haunted place in Winnipeg, and one of the most famously haunted places in Canada, I think, Fort Garry Hotel.
Yes. Do you want to tell listener a little bit about why it's haunted?
Yes. Okay, the Fort Garry Hotel, located at 222 Broadway.
Still.
Built in 1913. Was one of the Grand Railway hotels serving Winnipeg at that time.
Yes.
Most famously, room 202 is haunted.
And why is it?
So going back to the 1920s, there was a young newlywed couple staying in room 202.
Do you have a name on the couple? I couldn't find a name.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, it may or may not be true.
Well, especially because apparently it didn't show up in any newspaper at the time. But anyway, carry on.
So they were staying in room 202. She had a headache. Whether or not that was an excuse or she had a headache, her young husband went out to get her some headache tablets and was hit by either a horse-drawn cart or some sort of trolley or some sort of vehicle. Killed instantly.
Ooh.
I don't think she knew right away. I think she kind of like spent the night worrying about him. But when she was given word of his death, she was so despondent, she hanged herself in the closet.
Ugh.
So,
when are we booking a night there?
We're going to take young Rebecca. And she'll be wearing the headset, just like they do on like the ghost tracker shows.
Why didn't we book that room for this recording?
Right?
We could have talked to her.
Because then we would have listened to it back and heard all kinds of like scary sounds.
Wouldn't that have been perfect?
Such as footsteps.
Yeah.
Sobbing.
Oh.
The sound of wire hangers scratching on the closet rod.
I don't even like that sound when I know who's doing it.
Closet lights and the TV turning off and on.
Nice. Just bad wiring. But anyway, yeah.
But also elsewhere in the hotel, maybe not related to this particular lady, there was an MP, I think a Liberal MP that was staying at the hotel in 2000.
Oh.
And she was there by herself. Middle of the night, she felt someone get into bed with her and settle in.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was no one there.
Ooh.
And then Ida Albo.
Wait, was that just plausible deniability for some fling?
No, and it actually made the news. Like it made the national news.
Wow.
Ida Albo.
Yeah.
The owner. She had the same experience. She thought her husband was getting into bed.
No.
And he was not in the room.
Spooky.
And then there are also accounts in the media of blood running down walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
But that one just sounds a little bit far-fetched.
It feels like from The Shining. Right?
Can I read something to you?
Do it.
This is a TripAdvisor review.
Oh my God.
Of the Fort Garry Hotel. A visitor from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
Gave the hotel 5 stars. TripAdvisor wasn't around at the time of my stay, but I felt it was time to document my experience here. I was traveling for business and stayed here for 5 days.
I hear footsteps.
Oh my God, that was.
Sorry.
My heart jumped. My first night in room 202 was disturbed by what sounded like music or a clock radio next door at 2:56 a.m. The next night, it happened again at the exact same time, but I also heard noises from the closet, like someone struggling with my hanging bags. It never occurred to me at the time that the room was haunted. At the time, I never heard of the stories. This was in 2001. Google wasn't around. I went to work that day, tired, and my clients asked where I was staying. When I told them, they all had an awkward look on their faces and said, "We know why you aren't sleeping well. That place is haunted." I was so focused on my deadlines and work that week that I brushed it off and didn't care. All I wanted was sleep. The third night, everything happened all over again at the same time. I peeked one eye open to see the clock, and it was 2:56 a.m. The music, the closet, and it was finally getting to me. I squeezed my eyes shut and said out loud, "Please stop. I just need sleep." Then the scariest moment of my life, my bed moved, my blankets tightened over me, and then I felt a weight or a body on top of me. It stayed there for about a minute. I was terrified and pleaded with my eyes closed, "Please just go away," and it did. I changed rooms the next day for my last 2 nights. Why the excellent rating? It was an experience like no other, and I don't think it's the hotel's fault that it's haunted. The staff moved me without any questions or hesitation. I've been telling this story for years, and I thought it was time to document it here.
Oh my God. So was he in 202?
Yes, for the first 3 nights of his stay. Now, I will say this.
What?
If you're hearing what sounds like a clock radio playing at the same time every morning,
it's because it's set.
It's set for 2:56 a.m. But, that doesn't explain everything else.
Well, also, we're not clock radioing in 1920s, are we?
Well, how would they communicate with you now? Pushing a button. They didn't have a TV either, but the TVs turn on and off.
Oh, so you just figured they're working with the
what
tech of the time.
3 a.m. is the witching hour.
Oh, they were just getting ready for the witching hour.
Right? Just waking up for the witching hour. Oh, that was
a 4-minute notice.
That was my scary Fort Garry hotel story.
Ooh, I like it. It's a good one.
Seven Oaks House.
I've heard of
Are you
this.
familiar?
Yeah. I don't know the details.
Built around 1851 at 50 Mack Street.
Mm-hmm.
It is the oldest house in Winnipeg.
No way.
Yes.
How do we not know this?
Well, the oldest building in Winnipeg technically would be the Grey Nuns across the river in St. Boniface, which may or may not exist. Like that log St. Boniface Museum. Yeah. So this is the oldest house in Winnipeg, the oldest home. Built around 1851.
Wow.
People have reported unexplained footsteps and paranormal activity. But it's a very popular place for like haunted tours.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't really go online and find out what the paranormal activity is because everyone wants to save that for their tour.
Oh, shoot.
I will say this. That house is built on the site of the Battle of Seven Oaks.
Yeah. Spooky.
So it could be...
It sort of hits that criteria of...
Yeah, like on a battleground.
Historic event. Things didn't go well.
The Battle of Seven Oaks took place in 1816.
Yeah.
The battle was a culmination of the Pemmican Wars and the escalating fur trade disputes between the Hudson's Bay Company and the Northwest Company. 20 people died on the HBC side, and on the Métis side, 2 people died. No, 1 person died, 1 person was wounded. So,
wow.
Let's say this. 21 people died on that site in 1816.
And then somebody was like, let's build a house here.
Let's build a house there. And profit from future ghost tours. Have you been in there? It's a museum now.
No, I haven't. Have you?
Yeah. It's kind of creepy.
Did you get any experiences that you would describe as paranormal?
No. Everything is kind of, what's the word? Roped off.
Oh.
It wasn't terrifying.
Okay.
But it was creepy. It wasn't terrifying.
Did they tell you the stories when you were like did they make mention of the ghost stories?
We were with such a large group that I think that was mentioned kind of at the front of the group. And by the time like the end of the line went through, it was just like...
And here's the dining table.
Like the scariest thing is we might not make it to our bus.
Right. Yeah.
And here's our dining table. I should say Fort Garry Hotel.
Yeah.
On our rating list, definitely haunted.
Okay. What do you mean on our rating list?
Well, I'm rating them.
Oh.
I'm rating them definitely haunted.
Okay.
Probably haunted.
Oh.
Should be haunted. Maybe not haunted.
Definitely cursed is one.
Definitely.
I'd like
Okay, so Seven Oaks House, I'm going to say definitely haunted.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it has every reason to be.
It hits a few of those criteria.
Yeah. Pantages Theatre.
Oh, yeah. Like pretty much every theater, but...
Probably. You know what I've noticed about this list that I've made here? Several of these haunted spots are National Historic Sites.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Pantages Theatre, built in 1914. It was to be the hub of the North American vaudeville scene.
Oh. Why did we get passed over?
Well, it was for a while, but what was happening around 1914?
All the things.
All the things. Located at 180
What was
Market
there a thing
Avenue.
you wanted to highlight?
No.
Oh, okay.
So some of the haunting kind of things that have happened, one of the most notable is that performers have found themselves wrapped in the stage curtains that tighten as they try to struggle free.
Cool. I mean,
cool?
not cool.
Not cool. Speaking of cool, though.
It's those mysterious footsteps again.
Pantages Theatre was the first building in Winnipeg to be air-conditioned.
With blocks of ice under the seats?
Yes, and people that would fan the cold air upward. So we're saying probably haunted.
Yeah.
Pantages, probably haunted.
Probably haunted.
The Masonic Temple at 335 Donald.
That's a good one.
It looks haunted.
Also, Mother Tucker's.
Yes. But I'm saying maybe not haunted.
That's reason enough.
On my rating scale, I'm saying maybe not haunted.
Really?
Well, it was built in 1895-ish for the Grand Lodge of Manitoba.
Yeah.
It was the only Masonic temple in Manitoba and the second in North America.
Huh.
So I guess it would be the only one in Canada at the time if it was the second in North America.
Yeah. I mean, anything Masonic is shrouded in all kinds of mystery and occult-y sort of things. Yeah.
So after it was the Masonic Temple, it was Mother Tucker's restaurant. You could get a free meal there on your birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
Cool.
Also home to the first salad bar in Winnipeg.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's some important history.
That's scary.
Employees at Mother Tucker's reported hearing footsteps
Yes.
and objects moving when no one was there to move
Like
them.
salt and pepper and cutlery and things being strewn about.
Yep. And now it's renovated but empty?
Yes. Well, and I heard that the ghost, I think that there were a couple different things observed, but there was a tall fellow in a top hat who the servers described as being a friendly ghost.
Okay.
And lived on the... What we don't have is criteria for friendly ghost.
No.
The one wrapping you in stage curtains doesn't sound friendly.
No. But the one just rearranging things on the salad bar. Who's to say?
Maybe they're making suggestions.
Riel House,
Yes.
330 River Road.
Seconded.
I say maybe not haunted.
Well, he didn't actually live there, right?
Well, he lived there for 2 years.
Oh.
It was built in 1865. I think he was only there from 68 to 70.
Can you really be a ghost of a place you only lived in for 2 years?
Right. It was home to his mother
and
various family members. His body was laid in state there after his execution.
Yeah. That's right. All right. I read that. Yeah.
The only kind of real haunting thing there, which is why I'm giving it a rating of maybe not haunted,
Okay.
is that beds sometimes look sat on.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Young Rebecca's shaking her head.
No, yeah. She's like,
Not haunted.
absolutely not.
That's not a
having any of it.
haunting.
Yeah. She's like,
Have
somebody
you ever,
just sat on
have
it.
you ever sold your house? Have you ever had an open house? Your bed's going to get sat on. 100%.
Your ice might get licked.
Hide your toothbrush. The Vaughan Street Jail.
Oh, I have something for that.
Oh boy, 444 York.
I have a story for that.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a bit of background.
Okay.
A rating of should be haunted.
Oh, no, it definitely is.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. And I have a this episode specific story about that.
Okay. Built in 1881.
Yep.
13 people were hanged there, including Winnipeg's first serial killer.
Dude, you're taking all my thunder.
Well, I won't say the name.
Well, I know, but you're taking all the facts.
It is a popular stop on the Doors Open Winnipeg tour.
Yeah.
And visitors to the facility report seeing floating apparitions and moving objects. So people that they've reported seeing there, their feet don't touch the ground as if they're being hanged.
Why did you whisper?
Because it's so ooky.
Should we have the lights off?
We should be sitting here in the dark.
Okay, well, can I interject with my ghost story?
Yes, please.
So,
are you going to tell us about Winnipeg's first serial killer?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here for it.
All right. Do you know the history?
I don't. I knew that you would.
So the execution of Earl Nelson, also known as the Gorilla Killer, I don't know why he's called that. Earl Nelson was America's first known serial sex killer. I also don't know what that is, but I think you can draw conclusions. He was a Californian. He murdered mostly landladies after answering room for rent ads, and he disarmed his victims by carrying a ratty Bible.
Okay, but when you say he disarmed them,
it has a different
did he remove their arms?
connotation today.
Okay, but that's not Winnipeg's first serial killer.
Would you let me finish? You're going to take all the spookiness out of this. His method was most often strangulation, and his means of disposal was stuffing bodies under the beds in the rooms he rented.
That's not a very good method of disposal.
No, it's not. I feel like
that's how I disposed of cereal bowls as a teenager.
So Nelson's reign of terror traveled from California up the West Coast through the Midwest and into Canada, where eventually he found his way to Winnipeg in the summer of 1927. Over 2 days, he killed 2 women, Lola Cowan, a young girl who was found decaying underneath Nelson's bed in a local boarding house.
On brand.
And Emily Patterson, found strangled underneath her own bed by her husband, who knelt by it to pray for her safe return after she had gone missing the day before.
Oh, I don't like that.
In total, his murder spree included 22 known victims across Canada and the U.S. in just under 20 months. Nelson was captured just outside Winnipeg and sent to a jail in Killarney, only to escape a day later. But as fate would have it, he hopped on the wrong train, headed out of town. It was filled with Winnipeg police officers. He was taken to the Vaughan Street jail and was eventually tried and convicted of homicide. Here's where it gets appropriate for the episode.
Okay.
On Friday the 13th of January 1928, after walking 13 steps to the gallows, Nelson became the 13th person to hang at the Vaughan Street jail.
Oh, I don't like that.
Was that the first serial killer?
That wasn't Winnipeg's first serial killer.
Oh, okay.
That was someone by the name of Bloody Jack Kravchenko.
That's a great name for a
Well,
serial
you name
killer.
your child Bloody Jack. You're pretty much assuming that he's going to kill a few people.
Do you think his name was Bloody Jack, or do you think his parents were just like, Bloody Jack? Bloody Jack. And it stuck?
We shouldn't laugh.
No.
I'll tell you this about if you're worried about things under your bed. I have like under bed boxes full of like t-shirts and shoes and stuff under my bed. There's no room for bodies or killers
or ghosts.
or ghosts or... Yeah.
But, you know, do ghosts need room?
Well,
Can they exist in the same space as your underbed
it's also
box?
bad feng shui, but that's a whole other episode. It's terrible feng shui. Oh, oof,
All right.
oof, I have chills.
All right.
Dalnavert.
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Sure. 61 Carlton Street. Maybe not haunted.
I don't... tell me more.
It's a National Historic Site.
It is.
Surprise. The former home of Hugh John MacDonald,
The one and only.
former premier of the province.
Go on.
The house was built in 1895. It is one of Winnipeg's oldest homes.
It's pretty... it's a pretty nice home.
It's a pretty nice home. Yeah, it's beautiful. And it's a museum now. So people can visit. I think they do a ghost tour. I think they do something ooky around Halloween, don't they?
I think that they do. I also think that on account of recent, and by recent I mean in the last 15 odd years, renovations, you can actually book it for functions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
MacDonald's young son died there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if it's going to be haunted, it's going to be
The kid.
the kid. Just saying.
Yikes.
The Walker Theatre,
Oh, this is my favorite.
364 Smith,
Yeah.
built in 1907.
Yeah.
Winnipeg's first fireproof building.
Yes.
Definitely haunted.
Definitely haunted.
Do you know about the gods?
The God's balcony.
So the very, very highest part, like the nosebleed seats at the Walker.
25 cents a ticket.
Yeah, they're known as the gods.
Because you're sitting among the gods.
You're sitting among the gods.
You're
'cause you're
high enough up.
all the way up there, peering down at the stage. People have reported hearing mysterious applause coming from the gods,
That's amazing.
even when the building is empty.
That's amazing. I love it.
Do you know about Lawrence Irving and Mabel Hackney?
No.
Oh.
Tell me more.
They were performers, they were actors, and they concluded their North American tour at the Walker Theatre.
Mm-hmm.
And then they caught the Empress of Ireland going back to England. It sank May 29th, 1914. And it was Canada's largest nautical disaster to date.
Oh.
Over 1,000 people perished. And so because they never completed their journey back to England, it is said that they haunt the Walker Theatre.
Oh.
That was their last stop on the tour.
Cool. Friendly, unfriendly? What do we think?
I don't know.
Did you get your
Your trip home interrupted, but
trip interrupted? I also read that there are rooms in the building that the guard dogs won't even go into.
yes.
Okay, so young Rebecca is making a good point. We didn't explain for our younger listeners what the Walker Theatre is.
AKA the Burton Cummings Theatre, AKA the Burt.
Yes.
But we're just going to call it the Walker
Was it
Theatre.
also called Odeon Theatre?
Well, it was an Odeon
one point,
Theatre, yeah.
yeah.
It was a movie theatre for some time.
Yes.
But it was renamed the Burton Cummings like sometime around the early 2000s.
Yeah, ish.
It's still going to be the Walker to me.
It is, yeah, I know. I've always think of it as the Walker.
In the same way that the Pyramid will always be the Spectrum.
In the same way.
Do you have any other spots to mention?
I have, let's just see. Oh, the Demon Hotel. Are you familiar?
The Demon Hotel?
Yeah.
No. The Demon Hotel.
The Demon Hotel wasn't actually a hotel. It was an apartment block located at 44 Hargrave.
Oh, yeah.
More details about this can be found in a book called Haunted Canada 6 by Joel Sutherland.
Sure.
It's a building built in 1910, an apartment block built in 1910. Many deaths occurred, including in 1926, 1923, that's not in order, and 1973.
Ooh.
Any one of those deaths could probably have contributed a ghost or two to the building. But somebody graffitied... I think it was abandoned for a long period of time, and somebody graffitied the building with the words Demon Hotel, and the owners kept painting it over, but the words kept coming through.
Ooh, that's either spookiness or cheap paint.
Or just somebody coming back and repainting it. Yeah, I don't know which. But it would keep reappearing, and then it burned down in 2015.
I remember it burned down.
I'm impressed that you remember that. Mm-hmm. So... I have in my possession, which I shall show you.
Oh boy, here we go. Again, a visual medium.
Where do you want to tell listener where they can find these photos?
I thought we would post photos of all of these haunted spots on our socials.
Good idea.
At Made from Pod.
Nicely done. Okay, so I'm going to show you 2 photos. Then I'm going to tell you what you're looking at.
Oh.
Do you know what you're looking at?
It looks like a Pilates studio.
It is the gallows at Headingley.
Oh. Where we're doing some hangings.
We're doing some hangings.
Is that? I was going to ask if that is a support beam, but that's a.
That's a hatch door. That's the top of the hatch door.
It's much brighter and cheerier than I expected.
There is a nice amount of natural light.
Say what you will about the gallows at Headingley, but it's light and airy.
Don't use it as a yoga studio. Highly don't recommend.
Look at that.
That's it for listed places in Winnipeg. I have one. Honorable mention outside.
Okay.
Do you want it?
I want it. I want to hear it.
It is St. Andrew's on the Red.
Ooh.
Are you familiar?
I'm familiar, but tell. Do tell.
It's the oldest stone church in Western Canada, built in 1849.
Yes.
Apparently, if you walk Widdershins... Are you familiar with the word Widdershins?
No. Is that like a fortnight?
Backward. If you walk backwards around the church 3 times... The expectation is you'll disappear. Want to go for a walk?
Yeah, let's do it. Cue the music. I wanted to invite our listeners to tell us their spooky stories and tag us in their, if they have like a haunted garage, or a shed,
basement.
Like a wood shed. Yeah. Tag us in those pictures. We want to see. But nothing like super scary, like no, like Chucky.
No, send Chucky. I want to see Chucky. You can have the...
If anyone ran into Chucky when he was in town and got a picture with Chucky.
That would be so cool.